What if your survival based childhood actually blinded you from seeing everything for what it is? What I mean by that is take, for instance, a family that the system is boundaryless, it's enmeshed. Everyone's shit is everyone's shit. People project, people displace. They utilize defense mechanisms because pain. But now, mommy is projecting her shit onto daughter or onto son, leading that daughter or son to believe that mommy's shit is the son's shit, or the daughter's shit. But the daughter or the son doesn't see it that way. They don't see that mommy is just projecting. What they see is that the son is bad or that the daughter is bad because they have upset mommy. Maybe the mommy feels bad about themselves. Maybe they feel like they're worthless. And so they teach their son or their daughter that they're worthless because the mommy is projecting onto the son or the daughter. We'll see what's actually going on here is that the mommy lacks healthy boundaries and she is projecting onto her children and fucking them up with something that she could instead, in a healthy way, go to therapy with and actually do something healthy and productive about rather than utilizing her children as a canvas for her own insecurities, her own fucked upness. But no, she is taking her shit and projecting it onto her children, instead fucking up her children. So the mommy is actually choosing to, probably unaware of it though, the mommy is choosing to teach her children that there's something wrong with them. She's also choosing to teach them to see things in a distorted way. She's choosing to teach them to see things that aren't really accurate, meaning that the children are being blinded by something that isn't rather than seeing it for what it is. Anybody that is projected on, anybody that is taught in a dynamic where there are a lack of healthy boundaries and the parent projects onto the children. The parent utilizes the children as a canvas for a total shit show or a screen for vomiting because the parent is just in so much pain. That parent is teaching the children to see things in a way that it's not actually. And when I say that, what I mean is that there's nothing wrong with the children. They're just children. Consider them like a computer. What software are you pairing the computer with? What software are you building the computer with? Are you building them with are you building the computer with a software that teaches it to be a screen for other people's projectile vomiting because they lack healthy boundaries? Are you teaching it to be a system that doesn't see everything for what it is and takes on everyone else's shit and feels terrible about itself because it also lacks healthy boundaries because it was taught to lack healthy boundaries? Seeing everything for what it is the ticket out. You can spend your entire life believing that you are supposed to take on everyone else's shit. Everyone projects onto you. They project their unworth onto you. And you go about your life with a lack of healthy boundaries, believing that you are unworthy. You can. You can take that direction. Or you can choose to see everything for what it is and realize, oh wow, that person lacks healthy boundaries. That's not healthy. That person is likely to project, oh wow, look at them. I was right. That person is projecting their shit onto their child. Wow, that's really sad. They're fucking their child up. Wow, that's really sad. They're teaching their child a dynamic of boundarylessness. Wow, that's really sad. Their child is probably going to grow up to take on everyone else's shit, not have any healthy boundaries at all, and see that everyone else's shit is their shit, so they're going to be told that they're worthless, and they're going to take that on, and they're going to believe that they are worthless. Don't have to do that. You can instead deploy healthy boundaries and see everything for what it is. You can deploy healthy boundaries and you can recognize, oh wow, that person is projecting onto me. They lack healthy boundaries. They lack healthy means of dealing with their shit. I'm not going to associate with them. So the picture that I am trying to paint here is to help people understand that in a survival based childhood, when you did take on other people's shit, namely probably your parents, because your parents lacked healthy boundaries, because you were raised in a system of enmeshment where everyone's shit is everyone's shit, and you're supposed to just be this screen or this canvas for your parents and everyone else's projectile vomiting, because that's how they deal with their shit, because they lack healthy boundaries. You can go about it that way, or you can see it for what it is. Like I was saying before, wow, that person lacks healthy boundaries. So, as I sum this up, your childhood may have taught you to be blind to all of this stuff and to take on other people's shit as they project onto you, as they utilize their defense mechanisms onto you. Your childhood may have blinded you to the reality of what's going on here. But you can change it. You can see it for what it is, as is the general theme of this. You can recognize, oh, I'm not going to take on that person's shit because that person lacks healthy boundaries. Just because mommy lacked healthy boundaries does not mean that I need to put myself in a position with somebody else that lacks healthy boundaries. Does not mean that I have to lack healthy boundaries. I can choose to see it for what it is and be like, oh, wow, yeah, that person is not healthy at all. I'm going to pass on that. Yeah, that would be a shit show. I'm going to totally pass on that. I'm going to become somebody that sees everything for what it is. I'm going to take off this blindfold from childhood that has taught me to invalidate myself, that has taught me to invalidate the severely unhealthy dynamics that I learned in childhood, that taught me to gaslight myself into believing that I am unworthy. I'm going to take that blindfold off and I'm going to choose to see everything for what it is. Consider it like Neo waking up from the Matrix. There's a scene in that where he. I don't mean to spoil this for anybody. I imagine a majority of people have seen the movie already. But there's a scene in the movie where he starts to see everything as ones and zeros, information. That's a metaphor for seeing everything for what it is. Oh, wow, I'm not this weak person. Oh, wow, I'm not this person that is just supposed to have unhealthy boundaries and take on everyone else's shit. Oh, wow, I am not supposed to. I mean, it's not a matter of what you are or aren't supposed to do. You have free human agency. You can do whatever you want to. That is absolutely real. If you choose to be somebody who continues to be a screen for people and their projectile vomits, you can continue to do that. You can do whatever you want to. You have free human agency. There's nothing that you are or aren't supposed to do. But seeing everything clearly for what it is the ticket out, because previously you were blinded by what it wasn't. Oh man, I am unworthy. I am not good. I'm a bad object because mommy told me I am. She was just telling you how she felt about herself. You were just too physically and mentally immature. Not good or bad, obviously, it's just development of any human. You were too physically and emotionally immature to be able to see it for what it was. If you were able to see it for what it was, you wouldn't have learned unhealthy boundaries. You wouldn't have learned projections. I mean, you wouldn't have learned that it had anything to do with you. You would have healthy boundaries. You would not be a screen for other people's projections. You would not believe it when somebody tells you that you're unworthy and carry that around as this flag on you that's like, yep, that's the flag of unworthiness. See me, everyone. I am unworthy. I am unworthy. I am unworthy. No, you're not. Your mother just, or your father, or whoever the fuck it was that taught you this, that trained you this way, lacked healthy boundaries, lacked a healthy way of dealing with their own shit, and they chose to, probably without being aware of it, they chose to project it all onto you. That's it. See it for what it is. Because if you don't see it for what it is, you will be blinded by what it's not. In childhood, you were blinded by what it's not. It's not anything to do with you. So you were blinded by what it's not. Because if you don't see it for what it is, you will be blinded by what's not. And what it is, seeing it for what it is, taking off the blindfold and seeing it for what it is the ticket out. What it is unhealthy dynamics, survival based, boundaryless. My shit is your shit and your shit is my shit. Or even just, I lack healthy boundaries. You don't have healthy boundaries. You don't have a healthy developed sense of self because you didn't get a healthy childhood. So I'm going to project all of my shit onto you, utilizing you as a screen. You're unworthy, even though that's how I feel about myself. You're unworthy. You're a bad object, even though that's how I feel about myself. But because you lack healthy boundaries, because your boundaries are permeable, you are going to take that on as your own, and you're going to go around life thinking, oh, I am unworthy. I am a bad object. No, you're just being blinded by what it's not, because you didn't see it for what it is.